Hello. I know there's nobody here because I'm firing these links out right now. So, I guess if you're subscribered or whatever, then you probably are getting an alert. I forgot about that particular aspect. So I'm just finishing out tweeting and discording. Okay, there we go. We are done. So let's take a look at some things. Let me get a drink really quick. Happy Tuesday, by the way. Man, I was thirsty. Woo. Okay. All right, let's see here. Let's verify everything is working. It seems to be. Let me just throw a white background on this. White background. Oh. I did a little bit of color work on we're continuing the rip disc image. I did a little bit of color work on it over the weekend just because I was playing around. I wasn't really sure what color I was going to go with. I'm not 100% that this is the color I'm going to go with, but I just decided to stick with one for now. But haven't done any of the line work because I wanted to save that for this. But the color work, I mean, that was pretty broad stroke stuff and some of it was already there. All right, I see we have somebody that's viewing. So, you know what, I'll give another minute or two just for people because I did blast it out to a million different places. So I'll give people time to fire up their browsers, get signed in. Especially if you have two-factor authentication, you're going to have to take a second to get into stuff because, man, nothing's quick when you're secure, that's for sure. By the way, complete aside, pre-show rambling, I did change, you've probably noticed, the "we'll be right back" thing to reflect the new image I did of myself, where I added, this is basically an image that I've had for years, but it was younger, where my hair didn't have gray in it or anything, and I wasn't holding anything in my right hand. The fist didn't have the Apple Pencil. It came off a little bit douchebaggy as it was. It was a promo thing that Lando and I did a while back for the podcast, but I always kind of liked the image, but I wanted to kind of make it, I don't know, I'm not going to say I don't know. It's not a terrible image. It works, whatever. It's fine. But I felt like it was more in line with what this channel is at the moment than just having the show logo there. So I went ahead and did that. So anyway, that's why that's changed. But just as I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this kind of thing. I don't know what's been going on with Twitter for the last, I don't know, I'm going to say 2 or 3 months. Has anybody else, if you're on Twitter and I don't know if this is a gender universal thing. I really don't. This is why I'm asking this in a broad sense. No pun intended when I get to what I'm going to say in a second. I have gotten spammed mercilessly with what are clearly not only bot accounts, but just, I guess they're supposed to be, I can only assume these accounts are meant as honeypots to get you to sign up for a dating service or something, because it's scantily clad women. They all have the same rough images, same poses, not the same exact women, or at least I don't think they are. Every time I get one, I instantly know to just go ahead and block it. I can tell right away. And it happens, I'm not going to say I get one a day, but every few days maybe, or I'm sure there have been times where I've gotten them very rapidly, but usually not more than one a day. I think there was one time it's women on my main account, and then on the show account it's graphic design spam. It's people who are, and I don't believe that they're real. I don't believe it, because they're all using the same bios, which is one of these things where you start to wonder about, how many people really fall for this stuff? But whatever, I'm sure some people do. But they all have the same profiles. They're all vector specialists. You know, they have graphic design / illustration / game design. And I mean, laid out the same way, same capitalization. It's astonishing. Again, I'm sure some people fall for it, but it's baffling to me. Anyway, I don't know if anybody else is getting that kind of spam. I certainly am. And I don't really care. The same way I don't care about ads on Twitter, because the block button is very powerful. So it's a one-shot block and I never have to worry about it again. And obviously you can't worry about shifting names. So, but I just didn't know if everybody else was getting that, because it's very funny that it's just very consistent. And it's the same crap. And it's amazing because they must really aim for the lowest common denominator if people can't pick this stuff up. Anyway, let's get going. It's been 5 minutes now. And I'm just blabbing about Twitter bots. You know, so I'm starting to sound like Elon Musk, I guess. Oh boy. Talk about a human being that we'd be better off without at this point. I mean, that guy. Whatever. we sometimes we get what we deserve, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, so we're just going to continue on the rip disk image. As I said, I put in basic color. I haven't really even done shadows or anything like that. None of the detail lines, all that stuff I say, because I think that's the more interesting stuff to kind of spitball. I'm probably going to, at some point, the request was made to me to do some, what I guess you would call introductory or younger leaning not streams, but videos, which I will do, where I show people how to draw things like a cat and stuff. Oh, really? Hold on. I don't know why this thing does this. 2 seconds. At least I noticed it right away this time. I don't know. I have to figure out why this is, but it doesn't matter. It'll take a second. This will come right back. So give me a minute. I don't have a way to check this in the background. I apologize. Or at least I haven't figured out how to do it. So I kind of figure out when I actually hit the live button. All right, here we go. Waiting for it to come up. And it should be any minute now. There we go. Okay. So there it is. Perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and I don't think. Oh, yeah, we're okay. Good. All right. So here we are. As you can see, I put in just basic color. Again, I'm not necessarily committed to this particular color for the flesh, but it's in a color range I haven't done yet. So haven't done any of the detail line work. What I'm going to do is block in some of the shadow stuff, and then we'll get going on the detail lines. So we'll start laying in shadow lines. So let's go to where's our sketch layer? Because that does have a shadow, hand shadows. So we're going to go ahead and move this whole thing above everything else. Put it up here. There we go. And why don't I see, hand shadow, I don't have the sketch shadows. Give me a second here. Oh yeah, it didn't. Oh no, that's okay. We'll put this above colors. So it doesn't have to be above the line work, it just needs to be above colors. I thought I did a shading thing. Let me take a look. No, that's lines. Bear with me a minute. I know I did shading somewhere. No, that's bones. No shading. No. Hand, inner bones. Is that shading? No, it's not shading. I know I did a shader. I know I did a shader level. Did I not do a shader level? Maybe I'm wrong. Huh. Okay, I guess I didn't. But you know what? It really doesn't matter because, hey, whatever. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Okay. So, select our color. Oh, sorry. We go to the color section. Go down to colors, and we'll want this one to exist above this one. Okay, so we get our color here. And what we're going to do is, this is actually the easiest way to do this. Put a little splotch of color right there. And instead of trying to figure it out, because I used to try to figure it out on the color wheel like this, that was a terrible idea. I don't know why I wasn't smarter than that from the beginning. All you really need to do is just punch the brightness down a bit. So we knock the brightness down by 5. Okay, and then I'm going to drop the saturation by 5. And there's our, actually, maybe I'll drop the saturation a little more. Yeah, let's go with 40 on that. That's good. Yeah, I like that. So we select that color. Let's verify it's different than this other color here. So for a minute, I'm going to move this above. Actually, it really doesn't matter if no, I don't want it that far above. Let's do this. It's trying to annoy me. Oh yeah, that's very different than the nail color. Okay, we're fine. So we go here. We will go ahead and clear this out because we don't need that anymore. We now have our color established. So let's get going. Okay, so very simple. We're just going to lay color in here. Now these are already shadow lined. You can see by the X's. So these are pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and, I didn't specifically mark these, but I'll go ahead and figure that's going to be dark, and that's going to be dark. And these are undercolors. So I've already got those, but these will be, okay. So let's think about this. When you have an undercolor, well, we'll just do a nice, no, actually we don't need anything there. Do we? You know what? Hold on. I'm going to try something. I mean, I say try something as if this is bold and experimental. It's really not. I'm just putting a line of color there. Yeah, okay. That's not bad. I think that's, yeah, this is all behind most of the primary colors, so we really don't have to worry too much about this. Should be fine. We'll do that. Just do a little bit of an accent color there. And I guess, you know what we can do? We can just kind of have it like the shadows are coming off the ripples. There's really no reason not to. I mean, not any good reason. So we'll go ahead and do this. Fill some of this in. And, oh, got a little splotchiness there. Let's go ahead and erase. Oh, no, I didn't. What? I missed some. Interesting. Wait, hold on. Why are these missing? What are these? Oh, these are, okay. I have unnecessary layers. We don't like unnecessary layers. No, we do not. If you are not contributing to a useful layer count, you're gone. All right, back to this. Let's go back to our color. Man, I tell you, my eyes are bugging me today. I don't know why. Too much time. I was doing a bunch of like video editing stuff today, so maybe the that probably was not great for my eyes. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. Let me take a look at something. Look at my finger. Underlighting. Yeah. Now we're going to leave that finger alone. On this one, you know, I don't like the lines now. I'm looking at these lines. I don't really dig them anymore. Where is that line? What did I call these? Shadow. Yeah, I don't really like these. I don't. I did them, but I don't really like them. So I'm going to take those off for now. And we're going to see how it looks without them. I won't erase them. But I'm going to go with the what they would call hash marks or whatever the term would be. I don't really know if I care for those lines like that. Not yet. We'll see. So for right now, we're going to go with pure color lines and then the accent lines. Okay, so let's go ahead and assume that this shadow is going to extend to the actual finger more. Because if it's underlighting, then there's probably going to be a little bit of overcast from that. You know what I am going to do, though? Now I saw that. That's bugging me, too. Not that. Where are... Here. This is going away. This little line looks like a mistake, so it's gone now. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Let's use the masking. Use the mask. There we go. I'll learn. Eventually, I'll figure this stuff out. Doesn't take me too long, usually. Okay, here we go. So let's go back to here. Gonna lay in some more color. Not really too worried about making it exactly anything. This is kind of one of those things where you just, you know, go along, do what, you know, I'm not even gonna do that. I'll just do, let's go ahead and assume there's more color there. Okay, let's use, you know what? Let's do a little bit of that. Again, this is one of these things where I'm not going to be a huge stickler for being exactly like what my stuff shows. It's perfectly okay. Go outside of your lines, do something different if it seems better to you. Who cares? None of this stuff. You know, this is not a commissioned image where I have to worry about somebody saying, no, I want it that way. Actually, I shouldn't say it like that. At some point I'll be able to talk about these commissioned things I did. That was actually a really great experience, but I know there are people who have nightmare experiences with commissioned work. I can imagine. Just in the little bit that I've... again, I can't really say that, though. The one experience I've had with legitimate big company commissioned work has really not been bad, so I really can't complain, but I have seen nightmare stories, so I can imagine that it can get very, very bad. All right, let's see. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do something like that, and I'll put an X there just so I remember what I'm doing and why. Let's go ahead and assume we have a little bit of shadow going there. Ooh, not like that, though. Much better. Shadow that. Okay. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of shadow right there. Because I keep doing that. Let's do this. There we go. Actually, no. Don't do that. Just do it the whole way. There we go. Because this I don't mind erasing. I don't have to mask that out. That's good. Okay. Whoa. Why is there a big... Did I turn... I turned something off. That should not look like that. Hold on. I turned something off. What did I turn off? Oh, okay. You know what? No problem. Mask it out. I didn't realize those lines were there. Good thing I saw it. But you know what? Look at that. Masking. Made it easy. That easy. To use a Bob Rossism, that easy. Okay. I don't think I have any other ones. Yeah, I do. I'm going to get rid of all these. I'm going to mask them. I'm not actually going to get rid of them. I'm simply going to mask them out. Yeah, I can get behind this masking stuff. I get it. I see why people like it. Like, I'm all right. I'm getting it, everybody. I'm getting the mask thing. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna necessarily gonna be how I do everything, but it's. I think for stuff like this where I'm figuring it out on the fly, probably not the worst approach for me. All right, let's jump back to our color here. Come on, where are we? Here we are. Yep. Okay, let's get back to our actual paint. Sorry, inking. We don't want the paintbrush. The paintbrush is huge, so we don't want that right now. Okay. Now, these are things that I didn't figure out ahead of time, so we're just going to kind of work these in as is. So assuming underlighting here, we'll put some shadow work in between these folds, right? Okay. Yep. And we'll do a little bit more here. I'm going to do this a little bit more loose than I've done the other ones because, I don't want them to all feel manufactured either. These are supposed to be kind of individualized, and so I think it's a good idea to kind of not have them all resemble each other too much. Some individual styling is a good thing, I think. So we're just going to kind of mess around here. And there really is no such thing as something that's bad looking. Oh, okay, I shouldn't say that. That was a stupid statement the minute I made it. There are things that are bad looking. There are things I will not do. For example, I won't put a smiley face on the bones. Or be like, bink, bink. No, I'm not doing that. So there are bad things. But when it comes to, and I've sort of talked about this a little bit, you just have to make what makes you happy. In the end, nobody might ever see your artwork, and you can't go after a style. You have to kind of make something you can live with. I say that as somebody who has really tried to do that. It's not simple. Unlike what Bob Ross says, it's not that easy. But I have come to see the wisdom of it. That, you have to be happy with the stuff that you do. Okay, let's make some. Now, some of these lines may end up disappearing. It just depends. But I think I'm going to try to stick with them. All right, let's see. And as far as when I do the detail lines, actually, no, they would probably work even with those. So I'm not going to jump too far ahead of myself yet. Let's put a thing there. Let's get some kind of pocket of shading there. And we'll do a little bit here. And this is, I'm trying to kind of block in some... What's the word for it? Ooh, that's a good idea. Let's go to... I didn't do this before. Let me go to... we'll stick with the shadow outlines thing, because technically this is what this is. But I'm going to do some actual bone fragments in the background. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do this. Yeah. See, and that's going to... This is... maybe that's too much. Hold on. Let me do it like this. Just because, you don't want to overwhelm it with too much of that stuff. Oh, okay, that looked like a copy of the other one. So we'll just do that. No, God, that doesn't look right. Let me see. You know why? Because it's not, the splinter sweep is not there. So we'll just do something like that. And that'll be behind bones. Just to give the indication that there's some three-dimensionality. Three-dimensionality, not a word. To these things. But we'll just do stuff like this. Just little stuff. Just to make it. And I think what I'll do is I'll fill that in with... Do I go pure black on that? You know what? I'm going to. I'm going to say we're going to go pure black on that, which this is the black layer, I believe. Let's double check. We'll know by the fingers. Yes. We're going to go... Oh, you know what I just realized? Oh, no. Okay, we're fine. I'm on the black layer? Yes. Yeah, we'll go with pure black on that. I'm not afraid of black. Not everything has to have a... I don't like that, though. Let me just smooth that over. There we go. I don't mind doing that either. Using the behind the black part to kind of not underpaint, but correct. There we go. Simple. Not difficult stuff. Not hard. We'll do line work and stuff like that. That'll be coming up. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look. Oh, I did want to do that. So let's go back to the colors. Let's get the color finished. So I don't think I need my lines anymore for Sketch work we can turn off there, and we can turn the hand off. Not that hand. Where's the other hand? Here it is. Hand off. There we go. Let's find our color layer. Let's get our color back. Let's fill this in. All right. Yeah, so I think it's just because I was doing a lot of video editing today. My eyes are just, they are tired, which is one of the worst feelings. I mean, there's lots of discomforts you can have. A lot of them are tolerable. I mean, headaches, that type, well, if it's not a migraine, obviously. Headaches I always find to be more of an annoyance than anything. I don't like them, but they're not debilitating for me. You know, muscle aches, that type of thing. Not stuff, stomach aches. Not stomach aches. Stomach aches as opposed to nausea. Lots of things I'm kind of like, you know, you just put up with them. But when your eyes are not right, that to me that's so noticeable. To the point where it's like, even if it's a small amount, you notice your eyes a lot. At least I do. I don't know, maybe people don't, but I notice when my eyes are off, and particularly meaning tired. I don't have any real eye problems outside of the fact that my eyes don't work very well in general, but that's more of a sight issue as opposed to an eye issue. Or I guess it's an eye shape issue. But yeah, when my eyes are tired, and it is generally just too much of staring at a screen. Whoop. Hey buddy, get out of here. That is something that, man, do I notice it. I notice it, and it's hard not to notice it. And of course, now I'm staring at another screen. Oh, it went away. Sorry. Bear with me. Let me get it back. I'm glad I saw it. I don't know why it's being like this. It's been way worse lately. I don't know what's... The only thing I noticed is the CPU utilization is pegged again, but it didn't used to. So I don't understand it. I don't know why it's suddenly deciding to be... Maybe I'm going to have to look for something else. Which would annoy me because I actually was liking this thing. And it just is... I've noticed the last couple times it's dropping out on me, which it really shouldn't be. The iPad and the computer are not even a foot apart. There is no reason that this thing should be dropping. So either there's an update forthcoming. I will have to look. I will look. I'm using a product called Reflector. I will take a look at that product's support page and see if there is any indication that others are having this issue. Because it is once per stream. When it happened before, it was a rarity. It would happen every, I'm going to say, it might have happened every 3 streams once. Now it's happened, what, twice in this stream already? I think last time it happened, it's happened at least once per stream in the last few, which is really sort of irritating me. Because, you know, if this is the product's function, which it is, it should be able to do what it's supposed to be doing. So I will look into that for everybody, because the problem is if I'm really dialed into whatever I'm doing and I'm just talking and blabbing on here and concentrating on what I'm doing, I don't see it, which it's not much of a stream if you can't see what I mean, it is a stream, but it's a stream of a static image. So I'm glad I have a static image that's at least not terrible to look at, but not ideal. So, yeah, I will figure that out. And if I have to try something else, I will try something else. The problem is, you know, most of these, well, actually, I don't know. I'd have to see. One thing I didn't look at for this one is if it was optimized for M1. Not that it should really matter. I mean, you know, this is, well, there's lots of things. You know, I didn't even think about, I'm not going to do it now. I will check also to make sure that Twitch Studio doesn't have an update. It may. If it does, it's probably not the worst idea to just check that and make sure. I mean, I don't think Twitch Studio would interfere with this, but it is. And see, now it's dropped down to 42%. The utilization makes 0 sense to me. It really is so wildly inconsistent that it doesn't make sense. But I will have to keep an eye on whether at high utilization this thing seems to fail more. But I mean, I just, yeah, I'm baffled by it. I could bring this down to 30 frames a second, but I kind of like that it's at 60. I think 60 is a nice, kind of like with video games, 60 is a nice place to be. Ooh, I have to try a game. I heard about this game, and I watched a trailer for it, and I really, really liked it. Called Cloudpunk. It's really interesting looking. It's like a pixel cyberpunk or science fiction, however you want to say it, game where I believe you're a cab driver, so it's got sort of the Fifth Element thing happening, which I always appreciate because I do love the Fifth Element. And you're driving a cab and delivering packages and stuff. You're a courier in some kind of wacko future. Looks interesting to me. Also this week, the Ninja Turtles game will come out, which my wife and I are looking forward to playing because we both are big fans of Shredder's Revenge is the name of the game, and then the Cowabunga collection is coming out at some point. Sorry, I'm just checking for blue because I noticed there's a little bit of blue overlap there, but I think we're okay now. Yeah, we're fine. Because my wife and I both like the old Turtle arcade game. Real fun game if you never played it. I mean, if you were in arcades, you could not avoid that game. And I don't say that as a negative. I say it as, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a little bit of that. Just join these shadows up. Great game. And the new one looks like it's specifically called out the arcade game in its, promo-ness, which, you got to have some stones to be doing that, because I'm pretty sure the arcade Turtles game is widely regarded in video game aficionado circles as a great game. So if you to compare yourself or even mention it is you're putting a bit of a flag in the ground there, which I'm all for it. I hope the new one is a riff on that, and I hope it plays as well. I really would love to play a game like that again. Brawlers aren't, there's been some good brawlers lately. There have, if you're a brawler fan. The last 3 or 4 years have been, I think, pretty good. River City Girls 2, or River City Girls 1, I liked. My wife and I both loved quite a bit. Can't wait for 2, which is supposed to be this year. Streets of Rage 4, good game. Liked it a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of that Scott Pilgrim fighting game. We tried that, and we found it to be very slow. So, I mean, good art style. I liked looking at it, but didn't enjoy playing it. Dawn of the Monsters, pretty good. Only problem with that is, again, there's a bit of a slowness to it, which is not it's not like Scott Pilgrim. It's not that slow, or I think we would have given up. But there's definitely there's a slower nature to it when you're used to some of the Streets of Rage 4 and River City Girls were kind of the perfect speeds, especially River City Girls. That one, I gotta say, that's a top end one for me. I really, and my wife both, really enjoyed that one. Pacing was really good. Fighting, all the stuff was just right for that. And even if you don't have all the River City background, because it does somewhat lean on the, what's the word for it? The River City, the actual older Nintendo games. But honestly, you don't need to know it. That's a thing where it pays off as a bonus, not a necessity though. You can easily play the new game and not have any knowledge or caring about the old one, and it will not make any real substantial difference in your experience with the game. Fun brawler. Really can't talk. And great soundtrack. Cannot emphasize how much we had a good time with that one. Really fun time. Okay, so I think all our shadows are blocked in now. They are. So where are we here? So let me grab a drink really quick. Bear with me a second. Thank you. I probably don't have a ton of time left in me, because yeah, my eyes are really just they're going at me a bit. All right, let me check 2 things. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get our eraser. And let's just go ahead and erase this, because we want the black to show through here, in my opinion. And we haven't done the blood yet. That will come later. I'm going to kind of do that probably, maybe the next stream I'll do the blood part. But what I will do in this one before I finish is we will get the black out of these. Okay. Just so we kind of have a contrast here, so that we can see both sides of this guy. And there we are. Yep. And then we'll bring this up. Okay. And what I'm not doing masking here because with the color layers, I'm never concerned about the color layers. Those are so easy to come back with. You know, they really are. They're not like line work where, you know, you might decide if something changes with color, it's so easy to fix that. So it takes no time at all. And in fact, if I really had to get into it, what I would do is I would throw this into Photoshop and I would do the stuff there. If I had anything really complex or specifically geometric, I would do that there. Okay, so there's our rip. That skull's going to get replaced. It's placeholder right now, so don't worry about that too much. So let's do a little bit of detail work. So this is detail lines. Okay, perfect. Let's get this brush. Let's get this to black. Check size. Is that the right size? Give me a minute. Let me check that. No, that seems even smaller. That seems smaller than that, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So let's... What are we on with that? Let's bump that to 5. That looks right. There we go. Okay. So, actually, you know what? We will go back down to 3. That's not bad for what I'm going to do here. So we'll stick at 3. And we're just going to do some very simple nail lines. So just do... Actually, you know what? If I'm doing a different brush weight, I should do a different layer. So, okay. So all we're doing here is we're just going to do basic kind of nail lines. Nothing too detailed or complex, just giving a little bit of texture to the nails, you know, like this, and we'll just do that and that and that and that and that and that. And I'm not really even worried about any type of deep accuracy with these. These are just accent lines, nothing that's too complex. Again, I'm not going to get too worried about this because these are just kind of accents. So we'll just throw these in here. Just gives a little bit of extra something. Nothing too crazy. Not that, though. I don't like it going to the edge like that. So there, we'll do that. We're going to put a little bit of tendon lines in here. All right. Again, I'm not too concerned about these being... These don't have to be overly uniform. They're really just to kind of provide image texture and evoke something under the skin in this case. But I'm not going to worry. I do want to go all the way through, though. So we will do that. Okay, just checking to make sure my mirroring didn't fail at this point because, you know, you'd want to actually see this. Maybe. Do some more of these. And then we'll finish out this particular stream with some, what's the word for it? With some line work on the bones. Yeah, so see, this is nothing too deeper here, but, and then I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of fracture lines. Just, again, this is not anything that has to be overly detailed. It's just a matter of, okay, let's give the bones a little bit of individuality and texture. You know, these are stress lines more than anything. They're not really, I said fractures, but they're really not. It's more like just showing weathering and some groove on the bones to indicate it's been exposed for a little bit and that maybe it wasn't in the best shape to begin with, you know. So we do some of that. Carry those lines up to here, and they can go off. And you see, I mean, just right there, you've already got some, you know, a little bit of interesting look to the bones here. Again, nothing, not worried about real anatomy. Wow, butchering English. Not worried about a lot of anatomical accuracy. That's what I was trying to say for the last 10 seconds there. Just more of, you know, it's something neat to look at. So sometimes you're just doing things because they look nice, not because they're supposed to be hyper accurate. I have no idea what actual bone texture really looks like. So that's not what we're going for here. We're just going for, okay, you want to be able to see something in them. That's all. You know, that's what we're going for here. Nothing too earth-shattering. Just basic stuff. And I'll probably come back in here later and do more, like, what's the word for it? Pockmarks type of thing. They'll have, like, swirls and these little pits. Pits! That's what I was going for. Pitting. Again, just to show kind of, just to add seasoning, I guess, to the bones, or whatever term you want to use. So that's what I mean about this. This isn't meant to be any specific kind of accurate reflection of what bones look like or anything like that. It's just having fun with it. And it's something nice for the eye to see. It's visual candy. So I will come back to those. And let's do a little bit here. Just a little bit. Again, not much because these are smaller areas, so I don't want to put too much in here. This is where I'm going to have more of little individual, almost like particle effect type stuff. But, we'll put a little bit here, Let's see, this is where I'm going to have stuff like this. That type of thing. Did a little bit there as a preview. No, not that line. Too close to the edge. Yeah, okay. You know what? I think that's a good place to stop. So that's where we are. So we have our shadows in. We'll start getting detail lines. We have the bone lines, so the bone detail lines. So we'll keep going with that. But we're in good shape. So this is where we are. We'll stop here for now. So I will thank everybody for coming by. I'm going to switch to my Be Right Back thing. That way I can turn the mirroring off and not worry about it. So thanks for coming by and having a look at what's going on here. And I will plan to do a stream probably on Thursday. That is my plan. And hopefully my eyes are in better shape because, boy, they're rough right now. In any event, whatever you're doing for the rest of your evening or morning or day or whatever it is where you are, have a great Tuesday/Wednesday, depending. I doubt anybody's still back on Monday. So have a wonderful rest of your insert thing here. And we'll be back on the next stream with you. And take care. All right. Have a good one.